Hey guys, welcome back to the Big Intentions podcast. I'm your host, Iralyn. Welcome. If you're new to the show, what's up? This podcast is so fun. It comes out every Thursday. That's when you're listening to this, hopefully. And yeah, it's a great time over here on the Big Intentions podcast. A couple housekeeping things. If you're new to the podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching this, or follow me on Spotify. Leave a 5-star rating. Let me know, message me on Instagram at Iralyn12. Let me know what you think of the podcast. I'd love to hear from you guys. And it's a super fun time over here. So let's just get right into today's podcast episode, talking all about a new month, and it's August. So we're just going to dive into new routines, intentions for the month, resetting for the month, and I'm so excited because I love a new fresh start. It's literally my favorite thing. I have my coffee with me. I have an iced coffee. Ice is starting to melt, but it was the last day of the Wednesday 50% off thing at Starbucks, so I had to get one. Also, I was not giving away, but I was like, okay, first person to message me on Instagram, like, I'll get you a coffee. And so that was like a fun little thing to do. Anyways, so let's just get right into the segments. So starting with living out loud. So I celebrated my 1 year of dating my boyfriend this past weekend. So July 31st was our 1 year of dating, like, so crazy. If you know me, if you really know me, that's actually like a really big deal. So anyways, that was cool. That was super fun. So it started off with, I went over to his apartment and I had a surprise waiting for me, and I actually was surprised, and I love surprises. Like, legit, I love a surprise, not like, oh, let me guess what it is, but I actually do love a surprise. So, I was super grateful for, the thoughtfulness that went behind what he got me, and just, I love celebrating. Obviously, I'm an Enneagram 7, so a celebration, it's a party. I love it. So we celebrated Friday night. We kind of just had dinner at home. We had filet mignons, which we did a reverse sear on them. And so cooking steak, that's always something that's kind of scared me, which I really don't even do it. I kind of watch Spence do it. But anyways, it's really good. And yeah, I ate we got it medium rare-ish, I think. So we have the meat thermometer and everything though, so it was good. And filet mignon is my favorite. So we had that, and that was super fun Friday night. And I got a Stanley, so I'm so excited. I have a Stanley with a handle, so that was fun. And yeah, lots of celebrating this weekend. So that is literally me to a T. I love to celebrate, so that was perfect. And also he got pictures of us that we did a photo shoot for my birthday way back when that he had planned, and then he got the pictures printed, which I'm so bad about things like that, actually doing those little tasks. So the fact that he printed those and got them framed for me is everything, and now I just have to hang them up. So that's exciting. Big things coming. Stay tuned for pictures of how I do it. I think I'm going to make a whole gallery wall out of the prints. So that will be fun. And yeah, so then also this weekend we saw Oppenheimer, so I can just get right into the content recs for you guys. So Oppenheimer, obviously, it's a huge commitment, but it's really good. It's about the atomic bomb, which now I want to read the book. It's called, let me see what it's called, because I actually do want to read this book. I think it's 700 pages though. The American Prometheus. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. It's all about the triumph and tragedy of J. Robert Oppenheimer. And I know I just watched that movie, but I really want to dig into it. I like finding something that I'm really interested in and then just doing a deep dive on that. I like to have a slight obsession. I have to have something going on. So if I can have that going on, then I can always be talking about the atomic bomb and World War II, which I actually don't know much about World War II. Maybe I'm becoming a history buff, who knows? But I think that, maybe I just need to dive into that side of me. Maybe I am a history girly. Who knows? I don't think I really am, but anyways. Next content rec. So this is on Apple TV, and it's called Hijack, and it's like these Londoners. It's like a plane going to London, so most of the people on there are like Londoners, whatever. Is that what they call them? I don't know. But basically, they're on this plane and it's hijacked. These like people on the plane take it over, and it's so far they're still up there. It's like 7 episodes in, they're still up in the sky and nothing's figured out. They have like 6 hours to the destination and the time's ticking, and they have to, people on the ground are trying to communicate with them, and like they're all trying to work together, but it's crazy. Anyways, that's a good rec on Apple TV if you have that. I just finished a book, Adelaide, by, who is this by? I have my Goodreads up because I'm like always referencing a book. Genevieve Wheeler. So this book, dark, sad, kind of triggering, but super real, but a really good read. It was kind of like all about a situationship and how this girl just kept like giving up who she was for this guy who never really cared about her. And it was like, okay, modern dating story, very much modern dating, like, oh, he won't text me back, whatever. And it was actually like a really good read. It was moody, it was dark, but I don't cry during books or anything like that. But I imagine if I did, I would have cried during this book. It was really heavy topic, so warning on that. But if you're in the mood, I mean, I don't think this is a summer read at all, but I had just read like a couple summer books, so I kind of wanted to switch it up. I wanted to go into like the fall vibes, like the dark, cozy, moody vibe. That's me. So I recommend that book. I mean, I gave it a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. And it's highly rated on Goodreads. So I feel like a lot of things I've been rating 5s. Definitely I rate a lot of things 4s, but so I throw out 5s, Why not? If I really liked a book, like I'm gonna rate it a 5. But so with books though, it's like I'll like it, I'll have my opinion, I'll rate it a 5. And then like I talk about the book to somebody else and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know why I rated that a 5. So, take that with a grain of salt. But I wouldn't rate a book a 4 or a 5 if I wouldn't recommend it to somebody else. So that's kind of my standard. Like a 3 to me is like, I could muster through this book, but I didn't love it. And I wouldn't recommend it to somebody. So that's my Goodreads rating, breakdown. That's why I give things what stars I give them on Goodreads. Okay. Obviously, I saw the Barbie movie, and it just evoked so much nostalgia. So many thoughts were like running through my head. It's such a good watch. It's funny, it's lighthearted in ways, but it's also like, holy crap, there's so many like subliminal messages. Sublime. And anyways, if you know, you know. But anyways, I loved this movie, and I think if you grew up playing Barbies, like, you have to go watch it. If you didn't, whatever, go see it. Anyways, it's a good watch, and it's fun. The music's really good in it. I recommend it. And then finally, this is on Spotify, but just looking up whatever mood you're in and finding like chill morning mix, and it's like all music tailored to you. And this is just a really good way to like, I mean, some of the music I know, but I think they throw in some random ones that are just like kind of like fit the vibe. But it's a really good way to curate a vibe, and I'm just really into that lately. Like, I'll do it for anything, like happy evening, cooking, dinner, whatever you're doing, like just search it on Spotify. Use Spotify as a search engine. Honestly, I will do that for podcasts too. If I'm like trying to listen to a certain topic, like I'm like, oh, I want to know about this, and then just search it on Spotify and then click the filter like podcast. Such a good search engine. Spotify and TikTok are like really actually good search engines, so I recommend that. Okay, moving into our next segment, which is intentional living. So my intention last week was to book a couple trips, which I did. I booked my trips. I have them, I've submitted my PTO. Things are in the works. But I'm still trying to like hone in on what I'm actually doing on these trips. So that's whatever. But I will later on in this episode, I have a really good tip, and I've heard of other people doing this, and I like actually want to do it for these trips. So I'll get into mood boards and vision boards, a little sneak peek into the main topic of the episode of the reset, the monthly reset. But okay, so back to this segment. My intention for this week is to enjoy the process. So whatever I'm doing, I just want to simply like be in it mentally. I'm like locked and loaded. I'm there. I'm in the thing. Like I'm in the grit. I'm in the grind. If I'm in the middle of something, I just want to be in it and enjoying it and not thinking about anything else or how it's relating to any other thing in my life. Like I really just want to be in that moment. Like for example, this podcast, I don't want to be thinking about, oh, I have to edit this afterwards and like put it all together and upload it. Like no, I just want to be in the moment. Like I'm chatty. I've got my little journal of my notes of what I want to talk about. Like I fully want to give my all to this, and I just want to do that with like all areas of my life. So whatever it may be, just be in the moment. And like for example, like even if you're watching TV or you're like watching a YouTube video, it's like I don't need to be like thinking about all these other things, just like be in the thing that you're doing, even if it's like a chill thing. I don't know, I'm always on to the next thing, and it's like, well, you're literally never in the moment and enjoying the moment, so why don't you just do that? Like I have a real issue with this. I'll be like reading a book and I'm like, oh, I'm like this percent done, and like I'm almost through this book, and like then I'm on to this next book, like what's my next read? Like you guys should see how many things I always mark as like want to read. It's like, bro, why don't you just read the book that you're actually reading and chill and be in that and enjoy that process? So that's something I'm working on. So that's why it's my intention for the week. So if you're new to the show, the intention of the week, so right now, set an intention for your week, and we just check in every Thursday and we're like, okay, like this was my intention last week, like how did it go? And this is basically like a smaller step of like a huge monthly reset. So if you break things down day by day, week by week, it just makes everything way more manageable. And so the intention of the week right now, think of something you want to be more intentional with throughout the next week, and then just make an effort every single day to check in on that thing and be like, okay, what did I do? Like, how am I measuring up to my intention? Am I like, did I even think about it today? Like, what can I do to work towards that intention? So that is just kind of the purpose of this segment. I just wanted to share that for any new listeners out there. That's what the vibe is for the intentional living segment. And so, yeah, let's just move on into the next segment, which is words to live by. So this is just like a quote that I kind of like share with you all, something that have found recently that I think is applicable either to the episode or just to my life in general. And it's just me sharing words that you should live by. Not should, but things that I find helpful that I just want to share with you because like I'm really into it. So, words to live by. This is from We the Urban. Like, I'm just obsessed with this Instagram account. It's such a vibe. And so it goes, dare to desire more than, dare to desire more than what you believe you deserve. See yourself in that place. It's okay to want more for yourself. So, I love this because I think truly we are in control of our lives. We are the architects of our lives. You know, we're the vibe curators for our own lives. We are in charge, and you have to believe in yourself. You have to build up self-confidence to back your faith and belief in yourself. So it's one thing to like fake it till you make it, but if you actually have I'm getting a phone call. But if you actually have a reason to believe in yourself, like you've built up evidence to prove to yourself this is why you should believe in me, then that just helps build up your self-confidence. So if you don't believe in yourself, then who will? My biggest fear is not dreaming big enough for myself. So I always say that. It's like people's like, what's your biggest fear? No, it's not spiders, whatever. It's like living a life that isn't big enough for me, and just being like comfortable. I don't want to be comfortable. I want to be uncomfortable. I want to lean into it. And it's like I say these things and I have to like remind myself of that sometimes when I'm in the thing that I'm like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing? But I really do want to push myself and be the highest version of myself. That's literally the whole point of this podcast. And it's like, obviously, it's challenging to do these things, to always be striving for, more and better and greatness and whatever. And so, honestly, if you don't believe in yourself, like, who's going to believe in you? Like, you have to prove to yourself first before you can really prove to others. Not that we really want to prove to others, but like you have to believe in yourself. And it's like, obviously there are probably some people in your life who are going to believe in you and encourage you, and those people are great, but those people aren't going to get the work done. You're the one that's going to get the work done, and so you have to believe in yourself. So the quote, daring to desire for more than just the status quo, you're really believing in yourself and who you are, and you can see yourself in that place and envision like that better situation or that better environment or this higher version of yourself. You can like really see it and you believe that you can achieve it. So I think it's just really important to me because, like I said, so my biggest fear is like not dreaming a life that's big enough for myself. And I really want to, that's the whole point of the podcast, like title, like big intentions. Like I have big intentions, huge intentions. And so truly like seeing those things and envisioning them and doing the things that gets me to that higher version of myself, that's so critical to me. And I'm just, I'm excited to dream big for myself. I think it's so fun to have big dreams and big goals, and I just encourage you guys to have the same, because what is life? Like literally, what even is life? Just, you might as well have a big dream for yourself. Like I don't get the small-mindedness, and I don't know like if that's just like my personality trait or whatever, but I'm always like huge dreams. I'm always like saying all these things I want to do, and like yes, you have to be able to back what you dream, but you have to be able to dream of these things for yourself to actually like put in the place the systems and the routines and the habits that get you to that highest version, to the dream. So all of that was like a whole rant on dreaming big and big intentions, but I thought it was so fitting for the podcast episode about a new month, a new beginning, a fresh start, a reset. We love a reset over here. I love a reset. And yeah, so that kind of sets the tone for what we're going to talk about today, which is our August intentions, our August reset, monthly reset, setting yourself up for success for a new month. So literally love it. So let's get right into it, and let's get right into the August reset. So some of the things that I like to do in a reset, like a monthly reset, is one, I like to reflect on the past month. And obviously, if you're on social media, everybody's doing July dump, recap of July. Like it's great content to do those kind of things, but it's also like, I just think it's a good practice to reflect and to kind of like evaluate your previous month. So this could mean taking out your journal and just like kind of stewing on the last month. Like, what did you accomplish? What did you do? What are you grateful for in the last month? Reviewing any goals or intentions that you set in the past month. Like, how did you live up to those things? What things worked for you? What things didn't? What are things that you're like, I really liked this thing about last month, I didn't like this, kind of just really evaluating your life, because being intentional is part of that, is reflecting, and not like we're always living in the past, but rather we're just evaluating and kind of looking at it objectively and being like, what worked for me and what didn't. And from that point you can see all of your accomplishments, all your achievements, all of your progress. And I would say like one thing that would be really important in your reflection period is actually like highlighting and being grateful and compiling all of your accomplishments and achievements and identifying wins and seeing like, okay, in July I did this, and measuring that based on like where you started, compare that to June, compare that to May, and really like seeing what all you've done compared to where you started, rather than like, okay, yes, you did all these things, but then instead of just jumping into the next month, like I want to do more, 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 really being reflective on these accomplishments and being proud of yourself and celebrating those wins. I did a whole podcast episode on celebrating your wins, and I think that's so important. And this is like a great time to do that. Like celebrate what you crushed. What did you crush during July? Really highlight those things, write them down, post about them, whatever you want to do it. Just make sure you recognize it and reflect on it. Okay, so the next part of a reset is obviously going to be setting intentions for the new month. So I'm going to go through some of my intentions for August, which I'm so excited for August. Like, it's kind of not a lazy month, but like, I don't know. If you're not back to school, it's just like, who cares about August, honestly? Like, sorry if your birthday's in August, but like, nobody cares about August, honestly. And Harlow's birthday is in August, so, we love him. He's almost 2 years old. That's literally insane. But anyways, so yeah, if you're not back to school, it's like, yeah, you're just kind of continuing on into summer. So it's like, who cares? And summer's literally going to last forever in Texas, which I'm not happy about. So I'm just going to claim that it's fall because it's fall. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I'm wearing sweatshirts inside. I honestly wear them outside too. Like in the mornings, it's like 90 degrees. I have a sweatshirt on. Like, it doesn't make sense, but I don't care. It doesn't have to make sense. It's me. I'm just claiming the weather that I wish it was. Dress for the weather that you want, not the weather that you have. You know what I mean? Anyways, so if you get that reference, then you listen to last week's episode. Yeah, so my intentions for August this month. Yeah, so I actually have a lot going on in August, which is great because it is one of those slow months, so that's exciting. But I have like several trips planned. Yeah, not several. I guess I have 2 trips planned, and big things coming. So my August plans. So I'm going back to Kentucky for my cousin's wedding, which I'm really excited about. And I'm definitely, like, my intention behind this trip is 1, family time, soak it up, be really present in the moment, and also like slay a wedding guest look, and take cute pictures. Like, I'm gonna be dolled up and everything, so it's like really enjoy that. So that's one thing, one trip. And then the other trip is California. I've never been to California. That's where Spencer is from. And so we're going to the Bay Area. And like, I feel like that's how you have to say it. I kind of already sound like a Valley girl to begin with. I don't think that Bay Area equals Valley girl. I'm just saying like California vibes I said vibes like probably 400 times so far. So, yeah, the whole Valley Girl thing, like I got that down. But the Bay Area, so, okay, the vibe of this trip is like, picture this, hometown date, The Bachelor, and like meeting the family kind of vibe. So that's basically what we're doing. I've met his parents, so they're gonna be there and everything. But anyways, like meeting like extended family and such, and seeing his hometown. And I'm like, you like literally have to take me to your high school. Like I really want to do like the whole like hometown date thing. Maybe I should like just send him like a YouTube clip and be like, okay, this is a hometown date from The Bachelor. Like, this is the level, like this is the base level, this is the expectation. Like, I want to do the things. So I just think that would be so fun, and just making it seem like I'm on The Bachelor, because that ship has sailed for me. Unfortunately, I wouldn't even want to be in that franchise anymore. It's literally going so far down the toilet. So anyways, but moving on. So those are the trips that I have planned for August, and I just am really excited for those. But other things that I'm setting intentions for in August: 1, slaying the fashion game. So I'm going to start up my Rent the Runway subscription again, because I have all these events going on, and it's like, I don't want to buy clothes for things I'm literally going to wear one time. And I am like definitely one of those people that's like, I don't want to be an outfit repeater. It's just, I don't know. It's something about like growing up with like Barbies, like fashion being like the core like of me as a like child, like that being such a big part of my childhood. I don't know, but like I don't like to be an outfit repeater. Like Lizzie McGuire's an outfit repeater, like that thing, whatever. So I'm trying to slay the fashion game. So I'm gonna do Rent the Runway and just like rent whatever I need. Because oh yeah, wanted to mention the Bay Area thing. So it's like if anybody is listening, like I'm not making fun of the Bay Area. It's just I'm just like not one of those girlies. Like I'm literally a country mouse. So if you watch Shannon Ford, you know what I'm talking about. Literally a country mouse. So the Bay Area, whatever. I think we're going to like a country club or something. So it's like that aesthetic. That's what I'm going for on that trip. The Kentucky trip, I'm going for like wedding guest, winery, that vibe. So two different aesthetics that I'm going for, and I'm going to get into how to like do a whole vision board for that. But starting there, okay, so slaying the fashion game, that's one of my intentions for August. Another intention is leaning into new paths and new beginnings. So just really embracing newness and like just being totally fully immersed and submersed into like new things and just being like, okay, like new things are happening, new things are changing, and it's so exciting, and just like really embracing that and being like present in that moment as well, and just like soaking that up, because the beginning of something is so exciting, and I just like don't like love losing like, you know, the passion or the fire or that flame for like something new, because the beginning of things is literally so exciting and I love that feeling. So I just like want to bottle that up and like hold on to it. Okay, another intention for August is, okay, so I saw this on TikTok, and basically she was calling it like the Content 30 challenge. So like posting every day on one social media platform, like once a day. There was like a list of rules, but making this kind of like my own challenge. But basically one post a day. So for me, I'm going to try to post TikTok and Instagram. And so that could just be like a story on Instagram or a in feed or reel or whatever, and TikTok just like a video. So posting like once a day on each of those platforms and just getting in the groove of like filming, editing, posting, and like just launch now, adjust later. Like just throw the content up. Like I know not everything is going to be like the best piece of content ever. It doesn't have to be. It's just about being consistent and like putting content out there. So that is my intention, one of my intentions for August. I really like on the content thing, I really want to film a reading vlog, which I think I'm going to do it with my August book pick for my book club, which the book that I picked is Taylor Jenkins Reid, Carrie Soto is Back. And I've heard so many good things about this book, so I'm like actually really excited for it. So like stay tuned for my review on that. And if I do the vlog, like I want to do the reading vlog, I think, for that one. But like right now I'm actually reading The Simple Wild, and that was a rec from one of my friends in my book club. So anyways, that is my intention. And so another intention is just kind of like my home vibe. I just really want to curate, like I want to do some little upgrades. So like the gallery wall that I mentioned, I randomly want like one of those tissue box like holder like covers. That's so random. I really want that. Maybe like changing out my pillows here. I don't know, just like a few little things. And maybe that will be some fall decor that would be mixed in with that. I don't really know. So that's one thing. And yeah, those are basically all of my intentions. But so the start of a new month is just a really good time to set new intentions for the month, and or new habits, new systems, new routines, whatever you want to like start fresh. The beginning of the month is like the perfect time to do that. So I like to add relevant, achievable intentions that really kind of fit my upcoming month. So, for example, a lot of mine had to do around like the trips that I had coming up and certain plans that I had coming up in August. So yours might look totally different month to month. Like one month, if you're at home a lot, you might have more like routine based intentions. And then if you're traveling one month, you have more, oh, be present in the moment, fashion, whatever, like it just is going to change from month to month. So whatever you're trying to like level up, or you're like, you know what, I've kind of been neglecting this area, let's be more intentional about it. And so setting those intentions really just helps to recenter, refocus your intention and your attention on things that you want to actually be like cognizant, like you want to be conscious of it, because life is just so easy to just like blah, like go through life and just go through the motions, and like that is not the vibe. So just really truly enjoying life and making the most of it is being intentional. So that is that's kind of like what I wanted to say about intentions, why I think they're important. So just pick the areas of your life that could use a little bit more, spicing up, and things that could be things that elevate your life, things that help you become the highest version of yourself, whatever you want those intentions to be. I like writing them down. It just helps me to like clearly see like August intentions. Like that's what I want to see. So along with that, if you're like a visual person, a vision board or a mood board, literally chef's kiss, like August Pinterest board. Okay, we're creating a new board on Pinterest. Everybody get on your Pinterest while you're listening to this. Type in your new board name, like August goals, August intentions. And so after you wrote down all your intentions, go on Pinterest. This is what I like to do. It's so fun. It's such like a girly little thing. I don't know. I just like the little things like this. But so like for each intention, I was correlating my intentions to like what I wanted to add to my mood board. And I wasn't going to make like a whole like background, like desktop, like mood board. I just wanted a collective place to kind of scroll through. Pinterest is the best for this. So like, for example, for some of my things that I wanted to pin onto my Pinterest, my pins, I guess is what you call them. So for example, I would look up like winery wedding guest aesthetic. And so it was like outfit ideas or poses that I wanted, like different picture pose ideas. So I heard of this. This is like a side note, tangent. I heard of this Clara Pierce. She's like a TikToker, but basically, so let's say there's an upcoming trip. I think she did this for like Stagecoach or something. So you look up like on Pinterest, Stagecoach, aesthetic, pictures, whatever. And she would pin the pictures of like these girls, like different poses. So she basically would say, create like a whole like, okay, here's my outfit. Here's the pictures I want to take for like in this outfit. Here's the pose ideas, like by the Ferris wheel, and I'm going to pose like this, and like this is the outfit I want to be wearing. Like it's so extra, and it sounds like who even cares? But if you're a content creator or like a social media person, like you get it. But like if you don't care about it, it's like, yeah, just forget I even said this. But I thought it was such a good idea. Like if you enjoy being creative and like taking pictures and doing things like that, and like your outfits are like a huge deal to you, then like do this, because it's honestly so smart. And so for example, I was looking up like wedding guest winery aesthetic. So I found some poses, some like wine glass pictures, some different like vibes for wedding guest looks, outfit inspo. Pinned them all to my August board. So then on the other hand, for my other trip, I was looking up like country club rich girl, that kind of vibe, and pinning that. So, and I don't know exactly what we're doing in San Francisco, so it's not like I could really find like specific like places to take pictures and stuff, but it's like I'm curating a vibe. That's the whole point of the mood board and the intentions, is you're trying to curate your vibe for the month. And so I think this is just like such a fun thing to do. So like Oh, other things you could put on your mood board would be like quotes. So if you're like trying to be in the moment, look up like in the moment quotes, present quotes, whatever. That's really helpful as well. And just a mood board, Pinterest is so fun, especially on an iPad. If you have an iPad and you're just scrolling through Pinterest, literally, oh my gosh, I don't think there's anything better. Okay, moving on. I feel like it's it's just so healing to the inner child. It's the equivalent. Okay, this had just clicked in my brain, but it's the equivalent of like obviously like flipping through a magazine because that was such a big thing. Like when I was in elementary and middle school, like we were always looking at like Tiger Beat and like all these different magazines. And I mean, I guess kind of like social media is almost like that. But Pinterest just seems like a more intentional, safe space to do that. And just creating your own little mood boards, it's just so fun, you know? So this is a huge promo for Pinterest. If you don't have a Pinterest or you don't get on there, like, what are you doing? It's literally the best. Okay, next part of a reset. This is like more serious, like, but actually can be fun. So a budget, I actually really enjoy budgeting. Not like actually budgeting, but like putting all of the expenses in Excel. And I like don't love Excel, but you know what I mean? It's just fun. So I'll link down below my budget template that I got on Etsy because it's just like pretty simple and straightforward. But so basically the other day, like the last day of July, I went through my credit card statements and I put typed out every single thing from my credit card statements, all of them, whatever, put them into this budget, said what category, so I can see my whole spending for July. So it's good and helpful to like do the month before you plan for August or whatever month you're planning for. So basically I went through and did that. And so I could see like what I spent a lot on. Amazon Prime Day was in July, so like that was annoying. I spent so much at the grocery store again. I was really good about cutting back on the grocery store spending, and I don't know what happened. I went to Sam's a couple too many times, I think. HEB was in there. So basically, it's just like a good way to check in and to see like, okay, what did I spend my money on in the past month? Like, what are goals, financial goals I'm trying to work towards, and just kind of like measuring and seeing like where you're at with that stuff. And then that's helpful to reflect on July to plan and budget for August. So I can say, okay, definitely trying to cut down on my grocery spending. I'm not even going to be here that much. So let's take that out. But I know I'm going to be spending more for boarding, for HAR, and I'm going to be spending more on like Ubers and restaurants and eating out. So like just basically reallocating some of that money and planning ahead, because it's just really good practice. Like kind of with anything in life, I think it's good just to like do a check-in, just see where things are at and being intentional. Like I want to spend my money wisely and I want to be intentional with my purchases. And so that's a really good way to do it, is through a budget. And it's like super simple, obviously, just boom, 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 do it. And just like put on a podcast while you're doing that, or like a YouTube video. Like you can make anything fun and you can romanticize anything. Go get your fun little drink and like do the thing that you don't want to do, and you're good. So that is kind of like the whole budget vibe. That's one of the things I do to reset for a new month. Okay. This probably would come, honestly, maybe more towards the beginning, but calendars. So planning, I guess, just being organized, just getting everything ducks in a row, that whole concept. So, I'm booking my workouts as far in advance as I can. I'm texting friends like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Blah, blah, blah. Want to do something that weekend, like getting things planned, putting events and, scheduling people into your calendar. Because you have to make time for people, you have to make time for the things that you want to do, or else you're just going to get swallowed up by life. So if you already have these things set and they're in your calendar, like, okay, sorry, I can't go. Like I already have a at-home movie night planned or whatever, whatever it is, just, I don't know, but you just have to make time for these things. So I would go ahead, like set all my calendar things up, like what I have planned. Also, if you like create content, you could do a content calendar. So, okay, I use the tool Rella for content creators, which helps you to plan your videos or your social media posts, whatever. Like literally all platforms, you can plan things on this app. It's an app, but I also use like the desktop version. So it's called Rella. I'll link it below as well. And you can go through and create content. And so it just helps you to really stay consistent with your content game. So if you have ideas, you could put them in there. Or if you have videos or sponsored posts that are due, you can like just plug them all in here. So, content can be a whole other topic, but if you are into content, then this might be important to you. So, you can make different plans for your content as well and put those in your calendar. And then finally, with the calendar, you could also do like time blocking. So, for example, like, okay, Tuesdays are podcast script days for me. Like, I write out my podcast script, I write out my ideas for my podcast. Wednesday are always filming days. Let's say like Monday I edit videos for YouTube. Like, so saying specific days and like tasks that you're going to do on those days, just assigning those tasks to those days, I just think it helps keep you more organized, more centered, more grounded. So that's a good idea. Or like time blocking. So saying like every day from this time to this time, I'm working on X, Y, Z. That's a good thing. And so that's kind of like the whole calendar, like booking kind of vibe. And so finally, for intentions for August, a reset, a monthly reset, do a clean out, whatever, for the beginning of the month. So if that's a fridge clean out, closet clean out, just a general like tidy up of your apartment, just light a candle, put on a podcast and getting after it, and just really like setting, like literally put that in your calendar, like August clean out, and just do it. Get it done, then you don't have to worry about it. So I think that just helps really like recenter and reset your space, like your physical space around you. It's just really, it's like a breath of fresh air when you have a clean space around you. So those are my tips, tricks, my guide to a monthly reset, and my August intentions. So that's all I have for you guys in today's podcast episode. Thanks so much for listening. You guys should send me what your intentions are for August. I would love to know. We can keep each other accountable. It's always so fun to hear what you guys are up to, what you're liking about the show. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. So if you like today's podcast episode, you can leave a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Follow me on Instagram at Iralyn12. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks so much for watching, listening, all the things. Love you guys. Bye.